Okay, it is 7:02 p.m. I am C. Ron Allen.
And I am Darrell Curry, and a warm welcome to each of you to this final live edition of Community Conversation for the year 2020.
Yes, it is the last one for the year. Isn't that something? I am coming to you guys live from the Amazon Hub in downtown Delray Beach, where they are indeed in a festive mood, as you can see from the tree behind me and the snowflakes. Did I say Delray Beach? Man, I meant to say Vermont, but oh man. Anyway, I'm might as well tell you I'm downtown Delray Beach. Dara told you that this is our final live show. Yes, we recorded next Friday's, that's Christmas Day, and New Year's Day show earlier this week, just so that we can sit back and enjoy the shows with you over the next 2 weeks. Yes, we will send the emails out the next two Wednesdays with the YouTube link, and who knows? We may just join you with popcorn and pretzels or cranberry juice, Miss W, Miss Franklin. We may just join you guys as we watch the Christmas and New Year shows together.
Let me give them a sneak peek, Mr. Ciron. Next week, we'll hear from a local resident who is in the saving business. He once saved souls for the kingdom, he saved kids from failing in school, and he saved people from dying from hunger. Now, James Gavaros is doing his best to save the quality of our education or schools. We will also learn of 12 local men who are making waves in their community and how they will be honored next month on a calendar. And the following week, January the 1st, former journalist and mayor Jeff Pearlman gets candid about life, politics, and all.
Uh huh. Isn't that so? So you just gave my show away. That's all right. Anyway, guys, for the past 10 months, we have been taking full advantage of this thing we call technology to bring our young leaders together with members of the community leaders, and their peers from across the world. I say from across the world because right now we're being watched in 6 countries or 5 countries in one territory, whatever it is, but 6 places where you have to get on an airplane and fly over land in an airport. 6 places in other countries that we're watched tonight.
Definitely. As you will see tonight, this 1 hour mentoring forum deepens connections and it provides discussions on a range of topics, including social emotional issues, race and inequality, improving relations with law enforcement, post secondary education, careers, health and wellness, and politics. Let me also say thank you to all the adults, parents, grandparents, educators, and responsible community servants who every Friday night, no can be proven with the last show for this year, hang out with us to share ideas and instill value in us young people. We hear you in the streets, we get your texts and emails, and we value your feedback. You are indeed making a contribution to your community, and for that we say thank you for all that you have done for over the past 10 months.
You know, Dara, we have a very packed lineup tonight, so I will forego the formalities and get right into the show. Um, guys, earlier this week I had an awesome opportunity to hang out with one of our finest young men in this community. He's going to be our first guest today, and I learned that Delray Beach has our very own Steve Jobs. I speak of none other than Master Damien Damon Saul. Damon Saul. Neil, roll the video for me, please. So, Damon, what's happening, man?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good.
You sure? Which one is it?
Yes.
Good or you okay? Make up your mind now.
I'm good.
You're good. Well, just want to say thanks for being here tonight, man. I'm just so honored to have you on the show tonight. You know, you're just doing some awesome work in our community, man. How old are you these days?
I'm 11.
You're 11. Wow. You know, I remember when you were born 11 years ago. Wow. What grade are you in now? Second grade or third?
I'm in fifth.
You're in fifth grade. Whoa. That's all right. Now, I learned that you built a computer. You built a computer, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you come up with this idea, to build this computer? Where did you get the idea from?
So I played video games on my PlayStation, and I watched like Twitch, and I watched streamers and how much they could do. Then I realized I was limited to what I could do on my PlayStation, so I decided to invest in buying parts for my computer.
Where'd you get the money from?
Uh, my grandmother,
Grandma. Oh, grandma. Who's your grandma?
Angela Burns.
Oh, okay. Oh, you on the Burns? You from the Burns clan, huh?
S-
That's all right. So you must be pretty smart, Damien. Damon. I keep saying Damien. Damon. You must be pretty smart, huh? Are you?
I like to think so.
You like to think so. Now, how long did it take you to build this computer?
It took a couple of hours.
Couple hours.
Like, yeah, I can't.
Really?
I don't
I
remember
was
how
prepared
long,
for him to
but
say days.
Yeah. Was it difficult to do?
not really. It wasn't that. Yeah, it wasn't difficult.
Did
It was
you?
kind of difficult because there's like a lot of tight spaces on the motherboard, so
Uh-huh.
it was hard to get the connectors onto it.
We have a friend who hangs out with us on weekend. Name is James Lee, and it takes him like probably almost 3 years to build a computer. So maybe I'm going to have to hook you up with James Lee sometime to help him out. But do you say use YouTube to help you with this? Did
Yes,
you
I
use?
watched a couple of videos on. Yes, I watched a couple of videos on how to build a computer.
And did you or were you worried that it would not work?
Yeah, kind of. I was worried that it was not gonna turn on.
Now, tell me now, is this like a real computer where you can actually go to YouTube and go online and go to Google and all that stuff? Is it like a real computer or just a computer you put together that shows up blue
Yes, sir. It's
screen,
a real
green?
computer.
Real computer, and you can send emails on it too.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have you have a sister also? You're a twin. Do you have a difficult time, or did you? Oh, you probably still do have a difficult time keeping your sister off this computer.
Yes, she likes. Yes,
What does she like to do? Just hog
she
your computer?
like no. She likes to ask me to play Roblox on it. Like
Roadblocks. What's that?
it's a video game. I stopped. I used to play it, but I stopped.
Why? Why you stop?
I don't know. It just got boring over time.
Oh, boring. What do you mean boring? What interests you? What do you like to do?
I play like the main game I play is Fortnite. I
Oh,
would
Fortnite.
prefer.
Oh, you one of those. You one of those. Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Now, what's the speed of this computer? How fast does it go? I don't know much about computer language, so you're going to have to help me here. How fast does this computer go or
I'll tell you the
operate?
parts. So it has a Ryzen 3 3100, a GTX 1650. It has two sticks of 4 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. It has a Kingston 120 gigabyte
Hold up now, hold up now.
SSD.
You saying things that way over my head. Neil, bring in Neil here for me, please. Bring in Neil. What kind of hard drive you say you have?
A Kingston 120 gigabyte.
And what kind of storage?
Uh, hard. The Kingston 120. I'm gonna buy I'm gonna buy more storage because it's not enough for the games.
Uh-huh. I just got a text here from someone that says, very interesting. Uh, Good job, Damien. It looks like he did. They have some recommendations for a PC build. Looks like you did the same thing and neglected to cable manage the front cable. Do you know what that means? This
Yes,
can
I
this can
fixed
reduce.
that.
Oh, you forgot. Wow.
No, I fixed it.
You fixed it. Okay,
Yeah.
this can reduce airflow to his parts, forcing them to run slightly warmer. Those cables, when stashed in the front, will collect a ton of dust, which will worsen his airflow situation mentioned before. Whatever that means, explain that to me, please. I don't
Okay,
understand
so
computer language.
I fixed it. I
Uh
put
huh.
dust filters and I added more fans.
Uh
And
huh.
I fixed the cables. I cable managed because my dad was trying to help me and he was just throwing cables everywhere. So I took it apart and redid the whole thing. I cable managed. Yeah.
Okay. What's your next project? You want to develop a 2D platform video game, or maybe a robot, or what's your next
My next
project?
project, I'm actually writing a book on how I built my computer.
Writing a book. Do you have an editor?
Yes.
Who's your editor? Please don't tell me your grandma.
No.
Okay.
Um. So she knows a publisher,
She
or
knows a publisher.
yeah. He said,
Hmm.
after I finish it, we're gonna give it to him, see what he thinks about it, and then yeah,
Okay. That that's all right. I'm sure your parents must be very proud of you, huh?
yeah. I think so.
You think so? You know, Damon, your sister, what's her name?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. Cheyenne's an artist. I heard she does a fine
And
job.
yes, she's gonna draw the pictures in the book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
May I would love to be a part of this book. Can I have some role in this book? I probably write you a foreword, or you know what a foreword is? I
No.
write a summary of the book, or better yet, I would love. I know someone who works for the newspaper. I will reach out to him when you write this book, and I will have him write a story for you. How about that?
That would be very nice.
You think so?
Yes.
And what I'm gonna also do is I'm gonna speak to my producer Dina and see if it's okay for us to bring Cheyenne on the show next year. I'd love to do a piece on Cheyenne too. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Is she as cool as you are?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Well, you know, Damon, I have no doubt that your childhood hobby will lead to an illustrious career. And maybe someday next year, I may just call on you to come in and teach some of my kids about computer. How about that? Or teach some of the old folks about computer. How about that?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, buddy. Uh, we'll negotiate the price later on. How about that?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much for being here with us this Friday night. It's a what a way to just end. You know, Daryl, what a way. Is Neil on? Neil, you're my computer guru. What do you think of Damon?
I mean, when I received those pictures of him, like, building the computers and such, like, I was quite proud of him. Like, I had no doubt that he would be able to do something like that. I started building computers around his age too. Around when I was 12 was when I built my 11 to 12 is when I built my first PC. So it was actually really nice to see you already starting that track really early on. And I even had some tips for you. Like, one thing was the cable management, like that
What I'm
was
going to do, Neil, what I'm going to do, Neil, this is what I'm going to do. Damon, Neil attends your school. So somehow, I'm sure your grandma and your mom knows Neil. So I'm going to assign Neil right now to mentor you starting next year. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what a mentor is?
Uh, yes.
I know you do. Anyway, Neil will work with you and he'll share everything he knows because everything he knows, guess who he learned it from? Especially when it comes to computers. Guess who he learned it from?
Uh,
All right. Look, Damon, it was great having you, brother. And we'll talk next year. How about that?
Thank you. I appreciate
Mer-
the
you're
opportunity.
quite welcome. Merry Christmas. So proud of him.
Merry
Damon,
Christmas.
Damon Saw, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it from him.
Have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. You said Nigel's here. Okay, we have Nigel with us. Nigel, it, Anna, can you send Nigel in, please? Hey, Nigel,
Hello.
how are you, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Simon.
Good. How was the week? I know it was
Good.
kind of it was folks, I have Nigel on with us tonight because I am just so proud of this young man. Nigel competed this past Sunday in the Dr. Martin Luther King oratorical contest, and he finished second place, and he just did an awesome job. It was very not only challenging, but it was very harrowing being on stage with those lights. Nigel, I know how I felt when I walked on stage and saw those bright lights shining on me, and I had to speak. How did you feel? What was the experience like?
I felt scared.
Why were you scared? You knew your stuff. You wrote it. Why were you scared?
Well, it seemed like a lot of people, even though there wasn't really a lot of people. There's like 13 people.
But they were watching, a lot of people watching from home, though, from all over. But that was your first time speaking to that many people?
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, just want to say I was very proud of you. Even though it was the first time, you did well. And the more you do this, Nigel, the better you will be. Remember what DJ said? How many times he tried before he won?
3 times.
3 times. So third time's a charm. Okay. We're gonna have another contest in February, and I'd like for you to enter that one as well. Okay.
Okay, I will.
I know you will, brother. Did you go to Zumba today?
Yes.
How was it?
Good.
It's good. Okay. All right. What are your plans for Christmas?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. Okay. Do you believe in Santa Claus?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you ask for? Or what would you like for Christmas?
I forgot everything that I asked for, but he's probably gonna give me some of the things.
Okay. You just never know. All right, Nigel. I hope you have good health for this holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday at the gingerbread. We have gingerbread and eggnog at the caroling. Speaking of which, guys, we have the caroling that's coming Monday at from 4 to 6 at the Libby Wesley Park in Delray. So come on out and help us ring in the Christmas season. Again, we have gingerbread cookies, and I'm told eggnog. Thank you. I'm told eggnog and gingerbread cookies. So come on out, and if you can sing, that's good. If you can't sing, that's fine. You can hum. Nigel, great having you, brother, and we'll see you on Monday, hopefully. All right?
Okay, thank you for having me, and have a good night.
All right, Nigel. Great having you, buddy. Congratulations are also in order to the winners of the Delray Chamber Hometown Heroes Award. The Crystal Palm Award for Community Service was awarded recently to Emmanuel Dupree Jackson, Marcus Darasaw, and the EJS Project for the nonprofit stellar work that they're doing with young people here in our city. Indeed, they are doing just a great job, and I just can't say enough about the EJS project. The nursing staffs at Bethesda and Delray Medical Center, who are busy saving lives and giving comfort to those who are battling this deadly disease, they received the Chamber's Healthcare Professionals Nod. And the Education Award went to Mrs. Latoya Dixon, the proud principal of Village Academy. Ali Kaufman, from the founder of the Space of Mind, and Miss Cassidy Boylston, a teacher at Plamosa Elementary School here in Delray Beach, also share that honor. These ladies are finding folks, they're just finding creative ways to connect with our students during this pandemic. And again, let me just say congratulations.
Hello, young people. The doors to the schoolhouses will be closed next week, but you still have a chance to get some learning and fun during the winter break. On Monday, you can join in the fun and make chocolate bars, greeting cards, and Kwanzaa wreaths for your loved ones. The session runs from 2 to 4 p.m. You must register to attend as space is limited. call 561-665-0151 to register. That's 561-665-0151.
Daryl, you will not believe it. My phone is burning up. Text. Folks have a lot of questions here for Damien. Want to know what career he's pursuing. Well, Damien is in the 5th grade now, folks, and we will 5th grade, yes, and we will have him back in the near future to tell us more about that. So, a lot of texts are coming in. Okay, folks, our next guest is a post-denominational rabbi practicing cosmic Judaism. He's also a civil rights environmentalist attorney, and he's one of our fine former Florida legislator. He is a songwriter, even though he doesn't know how to sing, but he does a fine job writing songs. And he is a social activist, Rabbi Rouser. I speak of none other than my friend, Rabbi Barry Silver. Rabbi, attorney, politician, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Ron? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
You can't see me. You're probably better off.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, you might be better off that way, not being able to see me but hear me. You know, it's great listening to you. You do an awesome job, and you seem to be ageless.
Hey, I learned. Hey. Don't go there. I learned
you a long time ago, and you don't seem any different right now. And you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Barry. I learned from some of the best around here. Your dad was one of my mentors around here. Remind me so much of the late great Mario Cuomo. And I learned from some great people around here when it comes to oratory.
Now, before we go on, sorry, Ciaran, I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's a bit curious, but for the viewers, sir, if you could have like a 10-second definition of what you would align for cosmic Judaism, how would you describe that?
It's based on a concept conceived by Albert Einstein, who talked about cosmic religion, who said that religion should transcend beyond the tribal, where we think of our own people and our own group and our story, and we're going to heaven and everybody else is going to hell and everybody else is the other, to use religion to build bridges of understanding and knock down walls of separation, to talk about all humanity being one, and to see us from a cosmic perspective. You know, Carl Sagan went off, and when the spaceship was going out to Saturn, and he said, let's do a selfie. I want to turn this thing around and do a selfie of planet Earth. And he did, from Saturn. And he turned it around, and it showed a tiny pale blue dot. And he wrote a book called Pale Blue Dot, and he said, on this pale blue dot, all the wars were fought, all the horrible things that have happened, all the loves, all the species developing. And he said, we need to view Earth from a cosmic perspective. If we could get beyond ourselves and see us how we look from afar and realize that we're all one. All people are one. All living things are one. That's cosmic Judaism. It unites religion and science. And any religion can be cosmic. You can have cosmic Christianity. It's just looking at all people as one and not having a pastor friend of mine called religious apartheid, where you say, we're God's chosen, we're going to heaven, and if you don't believe like I do, then the hell with you.
Barry, what can I call you tonight? Barry, Rabbi?
Barry is great. Barry works.
Okay, Rabbi. You represented this area once as our state representative. What are you up to these days? How, you left the scene just like that. What have you been up to?
Well, I left the political.
There was a time every day I picked up my newspaper, you were on the front page or page 3.
Yeah, well, I left the political scene, but I'm still very, very active as a rabbi and an environmentalist and an activist. I was a leader of the Trump resistance, and I wrote a lot of Trump songs, which I do sing. You said I don't know how to sing, but I can.
I heard you singing before, Barry. Now you took over from your dad's temple. Am I correct?
Yeah, actually, I sing in a baritone. So most people like. Anyway, yes, I took over from my dad. My congregation got stuck with me. He only lived to be 95, and then he he just left them at 95, and then they got stuck with me.
Sure,
So
was
I
a
also
wonderful
did
man.
civil rights law, and I'm currently suing the school board for forcing teachers to go back into a death zone by going back into the schools, even if they have pre-existing conditions. So I do a lot of stuff, and I combine Judaism with science and social action.
Okay, that's one thing we definitely want to bring you back in I'm being told, late January or February to talk about that. We want to talk about that school board issue. But let's go back to, because we did not have a chance, or I didn't have a chance to hang out with you after you left Tallahassee. But what was your most memorable experience as our representative in Tallahassee?
I'll give you a few. One, I invited my dad up to say a prayer at for the legislature when they opened their session. So somebody said, "Hey, Rabbi, you going to say a prayer for the Florida legislature?" And he said, "No, actually, I've seen what you guys are doing up here, and I decided it would be more appropriate to say a prayer for the people of Florida." So that was memorable when I invited my dad up. And my dad had a lot of sound bites. So I was pitching universal health care, and he says, "Give them health, Barry." And I remember going to every school in my district and getting them to sign petitions for concurrency so that they wouldn't keep overdeveloping and paving over the place.
I remember that.
I remember doing that, and just had an interesting time. I also remember I was at a meeting with the sugar industry. They sponsored a meeting, and the sugar industry is destroying the Everglades and making taxpayers pay for it. And so the sugar industry representative, in front of a lot of important people, said, "Representative Silver, wouldn't you agree with me that there's two sides to every issue? You seem to be very focused on only one side." I said, "Absolutely, there's two sides. There's your side and the truth. There's your side and the side that's trying to protect the planet. There's your side and the right side." And in Tallahassee, I noticed that money talks, and that's how it works in Washington. And we have the best legislature money can buy. We don't hold elections, we hold auctions. It goes to the highest bidder, and people are literally selling their political soul in order to stay in office. And it's a regular den of iniquity.
You know, Barry, you serve as a rabbi and an attorney.
Yes.
How do you balance both duties?
Well, I believe that both are vehicles towards trying to make this world a better place. So there's really no distinction between the two for me. But as I say, I have noticed that the political sphere is very corrupted. And using a paraphrase of Jesus, they've turned the people's house into a den of thieves. And we need to do a lot to reform our political system, because good people can't get in unless they have a ton of money. And the only way you get money is by very unsavory ways. So we need to reform. I can see from firsthand experience, we need to reform the way we do business. And it's also very sad that most people are easily misled and ruled by lies, that lies are governing our system. People who deny climate change, people who deny that there's racism in America, people who deny the coronavirus and call them all a hoax. These people are duping and brainwashing millions of people. And we need to get back to truth and not lies.
Speaking of coronavirus, the coronavirus has ruined it for us this year, obviously. And as you think back on this season, what is your fondest memory of the season?
Well, my father's a rabbi. Hanukkah was an awesome holiday. They gave us a present every single night, and we went to different people's houses. And each night of Hanukkah, 8 days, we celebrated a neighbor's house, and we had an awesome time. But I would like to share with you, if I may, as a rabbi, Jesus was also a rabbi, so I know a little bit about him. And I do know that many things about him that I believe are not actual, they're mythological. But this we know as a fact. This is fact. Jesus, if the Christian scriptures are at all accurate, was murdered by the Romans, and they tried to stamp out Christianity. And then within a few hundred years, that person who they murdered, they adopted his religion as the religion of the entire empire. The entire empire became his religion, which was really a vehicle for transmitting Jewish values. So this is an incredible thing. And what does it teach us? if he was all about love, it teaches us that the power of love is far superior to the love of power. That people who think that they are powerful in this world, if they're based just on power, when their power runs out, so do they. For instance, Judaism was overrun by many, many empires throughout history, but we're still here and they're not. Because when their power ran out, so did they. But love is eternal. And when you have a message that is eternal, your message doesn't die. That is something that is not based on conjecture. We know that the Roman Empire became Christian, adopted it, and in that way, it was a vehicle for transmitting Jewish values. Now,
What's your prayer for 2021, Barry?
I'm going to answer that question, but I just want to give you one more quick snippet. Every Christian should celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah celebrates the victory of the Jewish people 165 years before Jesus was born to preserve monotheism against the Assyrian Greeks who tried to destroy monotheism. If the Jews didn't fight back, and if they hadn't won that victory, there would have been no Judaism, and Jesus couldn't have emerged from it. Therefore, every Christian should celebrate Hanukkah, and every Jew should celebrate Christmas as the birth of someone who believed in love over power. And my wish for 2021 is that all people will recognize that to be spiritual and to recognize that there is a sense of wonder and beauty and awe in this universe does not require belief in supernatural beings. It doesn't require belief in supernatural abodes like heaven and hell. It doesn't require that you have blind faith in a book or a person or anything or any supernatural being. What I pray for is that everyone will recognize what Carl Sagan understood when the pale blue dot, that this world is incredible. Every day is a miracle. Every day we're given, we should enjoy. And we should recognize that to be spiritual means that we should recognize not only all people of all races and creeds, but all living things and all animals are part of one biosphere. And we need to do a heck of a better job of protecting the planet, because so far human beings have been an unmitigated disaster. And unless we clean up our act literally very soon, this earth will not be viable anymore as a living planet. And we need to churn things around. And I'm hoping that the young people will do it. Damon is my hero. I can't use a computer. He's a genius. Young people are getting it about environment. I hope that they will lead the way to protect our planet.
You know, I always admire your unwavering and your selfless service to the interfaith community. And I would be honored to have you do a 5-minute presentation, or maybe I need to say 3, a 5-minute presentation on the contributions that Dr. King made to all people. We've had this discussion before, that so many people think that Dr. King's work only impacted people of color. And I'd love for you to address that over the Martin Luther King weekend.
If you'll let me just have another 30 seconds, I will.
Not today. Okay. We're going to do this over the Martin Luther King weekend.
Will do.
Yes. So I will be getting back with you, and I'm going to be another half hour or so. I'll be hopping on your show to talk some other business.
Thank you for the privilege of being on with you.
It's always a pleasure, brother. Take care now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a great night. All right, starting off, I hope we have cosmic Judaism and cosmic religion added into our vocab books for this evening. So we welcome our friends who are joining us either on KOP Mentor Network or Boca Raton Tribune's Facebook pages. And as usual, we are now on Instagram at KOPM Network. That's a little at that you're supposed to type in there. Okay, here at KOP, we believe that leadership training prepares youth to manage their time, work in a team setting, set goals, start conversations, facilitate meetings, and make effective presentations, all of which are positive life skills that they will carry on into adulthood. Now, we tease you with our little interviews that we do with our members earlier on in the show, but this is something that we have as a tenant that we hope we're able to represent to you guys fully. Please direct your attention to our friend, Mr. John Maxwell, for our leadership minute for this evening.
Hi, John Maxwell here, and I'm so glad that you're with me today on Minute with Maxwell. The little phrase I want to talk about today is having fun, and if any of you know me at all, you know that this is not a problem for me to talk about enjoying your life, because that's what I do. Every day, I enjoy the people I'm with, the things that I am doing, and I always try to put maybe, I don't know, a humorous twist on it and to make it just a little bit more fun. The reason I do that is because I have learned, whether it's in communication or whether it's in living, that the moment that you kind of have fun doing what you're doing, saying what you're saying, even learning what you're learning, things not only go faster, but they go better. People really enjoy enjoying life. And so as a leader and as a writer and as a speaker, I often ask myself very simply, what can I say that will help people kind of maybe enjoy it a little bit more, perhaps laugh a little bit longer, and just kind of lift their spirits up? Because having fun is all about enjoying what you do. Think about it. Life is hard if you're not having fun. And life is fun if you're having fun. I'm glad you're with us today on Minute with Maxwell.
Thank you, Mr. Maxwell. Folks, it is with a sad heart that I report the passing of Miss Alberta Morse, the grandmother of our very own Asiana, Miracle, and Kamora Livingston, as well as Shantira Hughes, Isaiah Morris, and Takara Morse, and our photographer, Jamara J. Harden. Miss Morse passed away with her family at her bedside. She was 85. Please join us in sending prayers to the entire Morse family.
Our condolences. A special welcome to our friends in the Bahamas, Belize, Jamaica, Tobago, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Please remember to share community conversation on your social media pages. If you missed a show, you can find it on Boca Raton Tribune or KOP Mentoring Network's Facebook pages. This segment is brought to you by the generous donation of Healthier Delray Beach, Blanc New Looked Barbershop, GT Tax Services, DNA Total Fitness, Ezra Krieg, Marsha Eisenberg, and Doug Young. Thanks to our sponsors, we are able to bring you community conversation each week. As you interact with your friends and neighbors, please tell them to like our sponsors on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. We thank them for caring about our youth.
Most definitely. We also thank and welcome our newest sponsor, GTS Tax Services. Thank you very much for your support. And as we enter the new year, we're open for additional sponsors. Folks, your funding keeps this program going. There's a lot of costs that's incurred in our mentoring program, mentoring services, even though we are virtual. So we welcome additional sponsors. Tonight's program is produced by Miss Joel Dina Bazoo, a graduating senior at Atlantic Community High School, as well as the Milagro Center, where she is broadcasting from tonight. I guess she's at a party over there. Daryl Don Lemon Creary is a graduating senior at Atlantic High School, and he is serving as our co-host, and he is actually in the big chair. Where is he tonight? Alaska? Or where are you tonight, man? Canada, somewhere up in the northeast?
Unfortunately, just right here in the same old Delray Beach, sir.
You're,
We'll make the most of it,
you're
though.
down in Delray Beach. That's all right. Our illustrious cinematographer is Neil Sunsky, Neil Noel. Neil Sunsky, Neil Noel. So, wow. Neil Sunsky, Neil Noel. And he's a proud product of KOP Mentoring Network and Village Academy. Last time I heard Neil was somewhere in Arizona or Alaska or Hawaii, somewhere relaxing and taking classes online. Mr. Ezekiel Hobbs is a graduate of recent graduate, I should say, of Florida A&M University. I'd love to find out what that A&M means someday. And he's an aspiring entrepreneur, meaning that he's available to work for you. You said agriculture? Okay, so he's available to work as a farmer? Okay, he's good. This guy is good as a public relations intern. He just finished doing some work with us, doing his internship with us, I must add. And he's responsible for all the increased presence on our social media pages. Speaking of Mr. Hobbs, over the last several months, you've been hearing me talking about this Mr. Hobbs. Well, Look who's hanging out with us tonight. Mr. Graduate himself, Mr. Farmer, Mr. Agriculture and Mechanic himself, Mr. Ezekiel Hobbs. How are you, sir?
Hey, you guys.
What's going on, brother, man?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Now, wow, look, hold up now. 2 days ago, you didn't have that hairstyle when you walked across the stage. What's up with that? Now, which one are you? You're a farmer or you're a mechanic? Mechanic, which one?
I'm neither.
Oh, I thought it says Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. Isn't that
I,
what they teach you?
no, I see. Well, we have a agricultural made on business like school
Okay.
and on mechanical, the industrial side. So
Oh,
that's
oh,
and
got you. So, how did public relations fall in all this?
so I chose public relations because I always had a creative background and I
Yeah.
wanted to choose a career that let me have creative freedom, and I enjoy writing. So PR was the way to.
Who inspired you? How'd you get started in this?
Um,
Was it in high school?
Yes, so it all started honestly senior year of high school when I became the editor-in-chief of the yearbook. So that became started my career path in the journalism field. So I just wanted to, extended that in college.
Got you, got you. And how was your experience on the Hill?
My experience at FAMU was very awesome. I definitely enjoyed the college experience. I got to do many things, college partying, meeting great people, interning in different places, and just reaping all the benefits that FAMU gives its students. So, yeah,
Did you pledge?
I did not pledge. No, I did not.
And if you could pledge, what would you pledge?
That I would not discuss.
Okay, at least on air. Okay, okay. All right. I already know that, but that's all right. Talk to me what was your most memorable experience as a student at Florida A&M?
So I have two memorable moments at FAMU. One is more so school related. Um, it was when I got my first article published.
Hmm.
I felt very happy because before coming into FAMU, I thought I was this amazing writer. I can write whatever, and then getting into journalism, I found that that my writing needs a lot of work. So after practicing and learning how,
Remember, I was your editor. That's
uh,
all right. You were pretty good.
so yeah, so seeing that after spending time perfecting my writing, I eventually got stories published, so that was pretty exciting. And my second most memorable moment was when I passed capstone and back in November, and with
Right.
at FAMU in the School of
Tell us
Journalism.
about Capstone. Tell us about Capstone.
So yeah, so in the School of Journalism at FAMU, we have this thing called capstone where people who are in broadcast and who are studying PR, they have to pass this basically this presentation test where you there's a bunch of people in the industry who are in broadcast or PR, and they basically judge your work. So you basically broadcast the different things that you did in school, the internships, and basically convince them why you should get your degree. So so it's pretty nerve-wracking, but I was able to pass. They loved my articles and the different internships that I did, so I was pretty excited to know that I had passed.
And you passed that. You graduated. You've had a few internships at pretty impressive CV or resume to back it up. What's next for you?
So what's next for me is definitely to find a job within the communications marketing field, and also I'm also starting my own business as well, a marketing PR firm. So the works are doing that.
And what's the name?
I won't discuss the name right now because it's still in discussion.
What have I been telling you, man? You got to be prepared. You got to be. You never know who's. Okay, how can they reach you then? Because you can do the work. How you
Yes,
going to invoice them? How you going to invoice them? We've been
so
talking about this for a while.
I'm
Okay,
doing.
okay. How can they contact you? How can they
Yeah.
give them your website and give them a way to reach you?
So I'm on all social media platforms.
You-
Ezekiel Hobbs, EZEKIEL HOBBS. So you can always hit me up. I have LinkedIn, and which is Ezekiel Hobbs. So you can always find me on there. So, but yeah, I'm currently doing freelance work for different clients. So I'm getting myself out there. It's just, I'm still in the process of, because I just recently graduated, so I'm still like, figuring things out. Not figuring things out, but I'm still, putting everything into action.
Okay. Okay. Are you ready to go to work?
Of course, I'm always ready to work.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. And guys, he's good. Just take a look at our Facebook page as well as our website, and you'll see some of his work there. Young man, we will talk next week. Great having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, great. Anyway, so let's bring in Mr. John. Brother man, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. What a year, what a year, what a year it has been for us, John, on Community Conversation. You know,
Absolutely.
we began a Voteless People, Hopeless People as a vehicle to mentor these young people, and it has morphed into what it is today. I don't know if you remember when we planned to use the presidential election as a way to teach them the importance of not only registering to vote, but also to vote. And look at where we are today. Wow.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing. Definitely.
Yes, it is. What are your plans? What are your plans for us for next year? What do you have planned for us next year?
Man, it's a lot. We got at the top of the year, it's the inauguration, of course. As we've been over these last couple of weeks, Biden has had a chance to select his cabinet members.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it's him and 15 other members. And so yeah, it's hopefully the Senate election will wrap up early January, and then it'll be interesting to see how things progress. The inauguration takes place on the 20th, and then we're ripping and running. And so I wanted to talk to the group a little bit about what makes this inauguration impactful and historic. So we're 33 days away. This is the 59th in our nation's history, but this will feature the first female, the first African American and Asian American vice president sworn into office. So the first woman, and then also definitely the first African American and Asian American woman vice president sworn into office. It'll be a celebration not just for the 81 million plus voters for the Biden-Harris ticket, but for everybody, every American. And this time it'll be done virtually. So it'll still take place at the U.S. Capitol. And it will again on January 20th, 2021. But this year we'll all have a front row seat virtually. And things will look a little different this year like it's done in the past. That point, I wanted to talk a little bit before the election, just to remind everyone that the election for the Senate runoff is January 5th. The deadline to request your absentee ballot is January 1st. Then you have to return that ballot by January 5th at 7 p.m. Or you can return in person on January 5th at 7 p.m. And then currently, it's early voting that's taking place December 14th through January 1st. Something else historic that happened was the first Native American that was picked for Interior Secretary. So that's a big position. I want to briefly talk about the 15 executive departments. So the cabinet has the vice president, then there's the Department of State, Department of Treasury, Department of Defense, Department of Justice, Department of the Interior, Agriculture, Commerce, Labor, Health and Human Services, Housing and Urban Development, Transportation, Energy, Education, Veteran Affairs, and Homeland Security. So those are the individuals that compose of the cabinet.
So he also has ambassadors he can fill or will fill as well, right?
Absolutely, yes. So that's what we're looking forward to is the new year. We got the vaccine that's going and coming on the way as well. And so hopefully it's a smooth transition with the new administration. And I look forward to continuing to engage with you guys in the new year.
Well, all right, brother. What are your plans for the holiday?
Man, I'm just headed back to North Carolina. I'll be there through the new year. And so I'll be back rested, I'm actually still at work now. We had a women's basketball game tonight against Florida Memorial, and so wrapping up the semester, and I'm excited to continue this into the new year.
All right, brother. Well, you have a great one, and we will see
Absolutely.
you in the new year.
All right, see you guys.
Now,
Have a good one, sir. All right. One word. Angels. I recall hearing about them in Sunday school. They were unreal creatures surrounded by mystery. Creatures complete with wings, halos, and an ethereal aura encircling them. Through child eyes, angels seemed distant and required great leaps of faith. It was a difficult thing about which to wrap a mind of a small child. I happen to believe that angels are among us as a Christian myself every day. Some people might call them heroes. Some just say they are being neighborly in a sense. Regardless of their description, the wonderful acts these people perform daily are immeasurable, those human angels in perspective. Tonight, we have two of those angels with us, by glory to be it. First one is Miss Gail Burks, who diverts her time in the food pantry in her church to make sure the needy has food. Miss Burks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. She strongly thinks that no one should have to go without a meal in the United States. Rightfully so, wouldn't you say?
Most definitely. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Great to have you. Tell me about the story of your pantry. How and when did it begin?
Well, I joined it about 4 years ago, and it had already begun. It was just a small pantry. It was really just a storage room. And myself and several others really combined our resources and knowledge of business and made partnerships with stores that were in the area, and we were able to get shelving, and we had some members come in and paint for us. But we really literally set up a small grocery store, and we were able to serve people who fell on hard times or just really didn't have enough to get them through the month. And it was set up on, if you're familiar with the Nordstrom food store, well, the Nordstrom department store, where they give you the special handling and the special service. So everybody that came in, knowing that they were, struggling, we gave them the Nordstrom customer service. So when they left feeling a whole lot better than they did when they came in, because they had groceries that they could fill their pantries. And, people were, you don't realize how generous people are until you get into that type of business. And we would have people giving us literally grocery baskets full of food for the pantry when they realized what we were doing and who we were feeding. And we had a lot of people who would give us food because they had been there. So, you never know what goes through and what people are experiencing, but even more so, the generosity that we experienced was phenomenal.
Definitely. That's such beautiful. How challenging with everything that's going on right now has it been for your ministry considering the pandemic?
Well, I'm not involved in it right now because I have pre-existing conditions that don't allow me to get around a lot of people with this pandemic. But they seem to be continuing moving forward with it.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Pastor. I'm just moved, especially since I'm aware that food insecurity is such a big issue in the community right now in the entire United States and the world. So for you to be able to move forward with this, I'm just astounded. I'm impressed. Thank you so much for coming. And may God continue to bless you as you continue to labor in the vineyard. All right.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
All right, Dina, take it away.
Debbie Fox lights up when she speaks about filling the request for toys each Christmas. Her organization, Community Friends Incorporated, tries to brighten children's lives by providing gifts at Christmas times. Do we have Miss Fox here with us tonight?
It is Fox.
Hello, Miss Fox. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Good evening.
See you. There.
You can't see me?
No, unfortunately, no. Is it possible for you to?
Is that better?
No, just the icon came up, but we'll improvise. The camera is blank right now. All right, Dina, why don't you just start on?
All right, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Oh, okay, so please tell us the story of Community Friends Incorporated. How did you begin?
Well, Community Friends was started in 2002, but way before that, in the 90s, a friend had done a party, a small party for her friends and family, and she and her husband built a sailboat in their backyard and wanted someone to take over the party. The party was to collect toys for children, stuffed animals for the elderly. And so I agreed, after a couple of glasses of wine, to take over the party. And each year it grew. I started doing them in people's homes, then it grew too big, and other places became the venue. And then it was not cost effective. So instead of parties, I put out large collection boxes, and other organizations had parties. The Palm Beach Post collects from their party every year in the past and gives me the toys. Numerous other places collect, except this year it was not going on. So over the years, I have grown from helping one organization to this year helping 30, and the need has been greater each year.
How many toys have you given away since this inception?
This year?
Overall.
Tens of thousands at least. It's been 30 years and 24 years since I started the party, so I can't even count.
I know, kids have some unusual requests. What's the most unusual request you've received from a kid? I know I have.
Well, I had one this week, which I just loved. A 7-year-old girl wanted a history book on Africa, and an African American baby alive doll. Well, we get a lot of miracles here, and this week I got the baby alive doll from somebody, and I had one book left, and it was a huge book on Eastern Africa, the history and pictures. So that just warmed my heart. I can't wait till she gets it.
And wow, what a wonderful request, of course. So you
amazing.
Definitely. You used to have different
others. One boy in the hospital a number of years ago, 17-year-old boy, had a watch as a present, a wristwatch, and somebody had stolen it. And I had just happened to have wristwatches for 17-year-old boys that I was able to give him and replace his lost wristwatch in the hospital. So that was pretty wonderful.
Wow, that is touching, of course. So you used to have dinner and have guests bring toys for your drive, and it's extremely needed, of course, especially during this time. How challenging has it been this year, considering the pandemic?
They're very challenging. There are no parties to collect 600 gifts. I am not putting collection boxes out this year. So I have had to do everything online, and I'm very bad at it. My husband helps, my sons help, my cousins help, my friends help, and I have gotten a lot. It's like Christmas every day here. We get boxes all the time, and I've been running out to a couple of stores, but not too often. I'm also immune compromised, so I really shouldn't be going anywhere. So it's been rough, and then there are friends and family who have collected from people they know for me, and people have been very generous this year, so it's helped a lot.
Oh, well, thank you so much. If you have any way we can contact you, please tell our viewers how we can do that. How they
I
can do
give
that.
you an address, an email, and if anybody wants to send anything, an address, if they want to send a check or even a toy, dfoxcats@gmail.com and 7287 Pioneer Road in West Palm Beach, 33413. That's Community Friends address.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss.
Thank you very much for having me. Anything is we are very grateful for, and everything we try to give away.
It was a pleasure. All right.
Merry
You have a good one.
Christmas.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Unfortunately, I guess I wasn't as festive as Dina was to wear a hat, but I suppose we'll have to improvise with what we have ending
Can you
tonight.
not
So that
feel
will.
the Christmas spirit? Yeah, how can you not?
I'm just recovering from the week ending with that horrendous week that we had to end off with school. But that will about do it for this week's edition of Community Conversation and the start of the school break. Thank goodness. We hope that you've learned something tonight that will make a significant impact on your life this year. Young people, there is no greater investment you can make on a Friday night than being with like-minded peeps on Community Conversation. Thank you to all of our guests for participating, for enlightening us, and a big sincere shout out to the Boca Raton Tribune for simulcasting us on Facebook and YouTube. A special thanks to our sponsors, Healthier Delray Beach, Blanc New Look Barbershop, GTS Tax Services, DNA Total Fitness, Jeff Stern CPA, Wellness Financial, Roots and Wings, Ezra Krieg, Marsha Eisenberg, and Doug Young. As we wrap up tonight's session, we leave you with this message.
Well, look, friends, it's C. Ron again. All year, we've been telling you about wearing your mask, or we've been encouraging you to wear your mask. Now, as we approach the end of this year, I have one more appeal to you. If you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't drink. Because we want to make sure you have a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
From Habitat for Humanity, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Be blessed.
From the city of Delray Beach, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Haha! We switched it up. Some of you weren't prepared for that new mask PC. Beautiful to see our lovely C-Ron at to end off the thing for tonight. Be safe, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas. See you next week. Thank you for tuning in.